for Huddersfield though, Phil, is it?
No, it's not. They'll be testing to see whether they can come back and start to do the things they did in the opening quarter. It really did give them the dominance. Perhaps, as Brian Noble said, really, when you're the favourites going into the game, perhaps they had a swagger that they didn't deserve, and they have to work back at doing the things that help them win.
Salford City Reds have made a little bit of Super League 12 history. They have become the first team to keep the the Huddersfield Giants rather, scoreless in a first 40 minutes of a match.
Well, it has been their defence. It's been to the fore in the first 40, Eddie. Mainly due to the fact, you know, Steve Sims will be very happy with the fact that their control of the ball has been pretty good, and they have not given away silly penalties. That's been a problem in the past for them.
Here is Robinson again. He finds Andy Coley, who bounces off Brad Drew first time, but Drew and Aspinwall and Stuart Jones and Stephen Wild are there to bring the Great Britain tourist from the Tri-Series down. He went on the tour, Andy Coley, as did Martin Aspinwall last year. Never made the test team for Brian Noble, however. And here now is the substitute, Turner again. He floats the ball wide. And Hodgson. And the kick from Turner, bouncing high, but is claimed by Chris Thorman. And the chase again is not too bad, and good defence on show from Luke Adamson. Brought down with Luke Dawn. And offside now against Salford.
Well, I've just praised them for their discipline and the ability to not give away. And you can see there was about 5 or 6 well in front of Ben Thaler, with no option but to give the penalty away. We really haven't seen this Giants three-quarter line click as yet, and put that down to some solid defence from the Salford side. But I think you might see a little bit more open play from the Giants from here on in.
Robbie Paul is the man at dummy half, and he finds Paul Jackson. He tries to go around Jewett, and Jackson is still going strong. But Korkidas is there, and so too was Simon Finnegan to bring him down. Jackson will get to his feet. Paul is pointing right, so he comes left and finds Kevin Brown. Short ball then to Thorman. There's a hole for Thorman. It's closed by McGuinness and Dawn. Paul Riley at dummy half for Huddersfield. Now it's Brown. Short ball to Robbie Paul. Wanted to take control of that situation. Gives it to Drew. And Drew draws them into him. Here is Stephen Wild. Huddersfield a level. Stephen Wild with the try. The 150th game of his career for Stephen Wild. That is the 50th try of that career. And Stephen Wild's magnificent year of 2007 continues. Look at that. 7 consecutive games he's been over the line for tries for the Huddersfield Giants. This one gets them back into the match.
All you have to do is make sure that you go on the shoulder of Brad Drew. Excellent stuff. He timed it to perfection. Watch Drew delay the pass, but he'll run on the arc, drag away the defence, come and get me, back on the inside. Superb stuff there. You could see that Jewett didn't fill in quick enough. They were pointing, they knew he was coming, but I'm afraid the defence wasn't there. Well worked, tremendous combination. He's in top form, this guy.
Yes, he is, Stephen Wild. And it's a slightly easier target for Chris Thorman, the Huddersfield goal kicker, than it was for John Wilshere at that end in the first half. Still takes some kicking, though, this, for all of that. And Thorman, he has missed it. It's 4 apiece. Not a night for goal kickers, but Thorman misses. McGuinness with the try for Salford, and Stephen Wild with the try for the Giants.
It's basic rugby league. You just drink the defence across and then come back on the inside. Superb positioning. Run on the arc. Great try.
I'd like to talk about Stephen Wild to Brian Noble. Brian, you gave him his first representative honour for Great Britain. Do you think that your successor in the Great Britain camp, Tony Smith, might be tempted?
I'm sure he will. He's a super player, and his form this season has been outstanding. His form a couple of years ago was outstanding. You know, he's a very, very good, athletic young player, and he's really found his feet in this Huddersfield team, hasn't he?
He has indeed, and his try has put them level early in this second half. Robbie Paul was the man at dummy half, and they are the Giants, and they're not called Giants for nothing. Men like Griffin and Crabtree, who was hunting on the inside then of Robbie Paul as he made that dart forward. This is Drew underneath the would-be challenge of Wilshere. But well done, he and Turner stuck to the effort, got him down eventually. Thorman on tackle number 4, kicking down centre field, and Hodgson will pick it up, but it's a wall of purple jerseys that are ahead of him, led by Wilde. Round him briefly, but Wilde stuck to the task and hold him down. Robinson, they go left and find Andy Coley.
It's been one of the reasons why the Giants have been so successful, is the fact that their kick and chase has been excellent throughout.
This is Robinson. Now it's Korkidas again. Korkidas looking to bump and spin. Phil Clark will be reviewing this weekend's action up until the Warrington Saints game, of course, which is to be played on Monday, with all the highlights from this weekend, Sunday at 9:30 on Sky Sports News. It's Luke Dawn again, and he gets the ball away to McGuinness, the try scorer. He steps out of the challenge of Snitch and gives the pass to Adamson. Here is Robinson. Robinson, ooh, that's a risky pass, but it finds its mark. It's Andy Coley. He's got Brad Drew ahead of him, and Coley.
Tremendous effort there by Coley.
Last tackle, Hodgson.
Kick to the corner, surely.
Robinson dabs it underneath the post, picked up by Steve Snitch. They're offside, Salford.
Oh, that's a shame. Tremendous build-up. Great run by Coley. Put them in a good position. Just a little bit over-enthusiastic. Not much in it.
No, new viewers, they have to be behind the kicker of the football, and if they're not, they have to give him 10 metres. They're obliged to allow him 10 metres grace.
Wasn't much in it. John Wilshere just about half a metre in front. Despondent look on the face of Steve Sims.
But you know, they've conceded 2 penalties in the opening 6.5 minutes of the second half, basically because they've been too eager, and that's not a bad sin to commit. If they can continue that enthusiasm now into the defence, they're showing the good signals to the side.
Brad Drew, Robbie Paul. The runner on his inside is Darryl Griffin.
The Giants,
Oxfordshire boy, Darryl Griffin.
the Giants will be trying to just work down that centre and then swing it wide.
Brown to Snitch again. That's good work from Gravey-Ann in defence. Robbie Paul again. Here is Jackson. Jackson gets to the 20-metre line. Last tackle here for Huddersfield. Robbie Paul will come left and inevitably find Drew, and the stab towards the goal line is picked up by John Wilshere.
Great position there by the fullback, but good work by Drew yet again. Took it to the advantage line, then launched the kick. But he stood his ground, did Wilshere. Great play both sides.
Luke Dawn on his inside was Luke Robinson rather, on his inside was Simon Finnegan. Untidy pass finds its way to Coley. David Hodgson. It's all pretty basic, it's all pretty edgy in many ways from Salford. They're safety first, aren't they? But when you're down at the bottom, you can't be taking fancy chances. Robinson under pressure. From Wilde gets a great kick in.
Super stuff.
If that gets its way to the try line, which it does, that's a 40-20. And how? He was about 25 metres away from his own line then, and Chris Thorman wasn't interested in this.
Well, this is amazing.
But it's 30 metres.
Yeah, Thorman just let it go. Surely had an opportunity to get to it. Well, that is amazing. Just a lack of concentration of Chris Thorman, and perhaps a misunderstanding of the rules of the game. There it is in red, 40-20.
A kick from the 14-metre mark, which trickles over the sideline inside the opposition's 20-metre zone, results in head and feet at the scrum to the kicking team, and Luke Robinson has gained valuable ground there for Salford. What was going through Chris Thorman's mind?
No idea, but it wasn't anything about getting the football.
Oh, McGuinness.
No, it's gone backwards.
Gravey-Ann went without the ball, and here comes Paul Riley on the counter. What a waste by Salford, which really has been the story of their season.
After all that good, hard, solid work and a beautiful 40-20, they just blitz it. He'll be fuming.
Well, he will.
Oof, oh, that was high.
It was, yes.
Silly play by Jewett.
Lee Jewett, the arm just straying above the shoulders, right into the throat of Earl Crabtree. And tell you what, it has to be a high tackle to get in.
Do you know, he has an exciting future, Lee Jewett, but unfortunately because of injuries, he's probably played too many games and too many minutes in too many games this year, and he's now, I think, bearing the brunt of that.
Yes, there is some talent watching this game for Salford on the sideline, the likes of Mark Edmondson, the likes of Malcolm Alker.
But Paul Heighton is the front row, really, who he's replacing, and he's having to fill in.
Gareth
do a
Haggerty
pretty tough
well.
job. Yeah, Haggerty went off injured, didn't he, 2 weeks ago, badly stretched off.
So they're doing it tough with injuries, Salford. Here is John Scandalis. Vigorous run to the 10-metre line. And it's another big question mark here over this Salford City Reds defence. It's with Brad Drew, and the ball finds its way to Wild again. A good job that Littler was there. That's the third tackle. Look where they are. They're so close to the Salford line. Drew to Robbie Paul. Here is Kevin Brown. Goes back the other way. Kevin Brown. Oh, another high one.
He grabbed him on the shirt, didn't he? Brown doesn't like it.
It was Littler, I think.
I don't think it was a swinging arm. I think it was more of a grab. Pretty hard to see at full speed. Not too impressed. Kevin Brown. Legs went right under him. Yeah, got his neck. Sheer reaction. Yeah.
That's only a penalty, isn't it?
Yeah. No sending off or anything other further, but no doubt they'll take the easy option and put him on report, perhaps.
I'm going to say to you, right, it's a grab. Good thing, Con. We had 2 head-high tackles on bounce. Same in the first half, we're giving one penalty after another. We don't need that. We need your tackles, though, Con. Come on. Yeah, I know.
Tackling technique, gentlemen. I think it's what Ben Thaler is talking about.
Well, I'm glad that he has not put him on report. That is good refereeing. He must have had a good view of it. A little bit of advice from the touch judge, and it's good to see. He's only a young referee, is Thaler, and that's great to see. Should be easy.
Bang in front of the sticks, as you can see. And Thorman does not make a mistake from there. First successful goal kick of the night, and it puts the Huddersfield Giants ahead by 6 points to 4. Straight downstairs to Bill.
The Huddersfield headbangers are back on the fields now, both of them, so they just better keep out of each other's way, because the last time they went to head-to-head, Ryan Hudson and Keith Mason, they both ended up on the sidelines with blood pouring from cuts in the head. And Hudson had 8 stitches after that clash of heads with his teammate in the first half. And he's heavily bandaged up. There he is, and he's got a nice shiner coming as well. And Keith Mason, who's just taking the ball at the moment, he's got his head all strapped up as well. So let's hope for the Huddersfield Giants' sake that they steer clear of each other in the second half.
Well, not even 8 stitches will stop Ryan Hudson from playing his part in the remainder of this match. He's certainly been one of the form hookers of Super League 12, Ryan Hudson. And there is Keith Mason. A nasty clash of heads, and there they are close together again. Hudson goes for a 40-20 himself, and it just skips the wrong way for him, and very early in the tackle count, Ryan Hudson. Here is Hodgson.
Look at all those jerseys. They really work hard for each other, to the Giants.
This is Littler again. Luke Robinson now, and Wilshire. Good hit that by Keith Mason and Ryan Hudson. Here is Korkidas. It's a good strong run from the prop forward.
That's what's needed. That should get him into a good kicking position when it comes to the last.
Andy Coley tries to go round Kevin Brown, can't do so. Littler as the dummy half. And the kick into open territory by Littler. Well picked up by Thorman, and he gets away from the 2 chasers. And gets away from the third, and it's only the tackle in the end by Finnegan that helps him.
It was pretty good play down that short left-hand side, but the fullback Thorman, that was brave indeed. Took it on the half volley, sidestepped away.
Robbie Paul, over halfway for Huddersfield. Robbie Paul returned from 4 out with a broken hand to star in Cardiff 3 weeks ago. Oh, that ball comes out. Was it stolen? No. Play on, says the referee. Huddersfield appeal for the pinch. No, he actually tried to offload it, didn't he? Yep. Gray Vian. Strength to get away from Robbie Paul first time. With Nero. Vian is brought to ground. McGuinness. Still Kevin McGuinness. No way through this time.
All they need is basic rugby league football, the Reds now. They just get over into a good position. Keep just pelting away.
Little half break here from David Gower.
Good play.
Plays the ball. Good ball to Finnegan. And good tackle needed, and it was. It was from Wilshere, the pass. Here's Wilshere again. And Wilshere fires it wide. It's Hodgson.
Oh, it's a forward anyway.
Referee brings them back.
First one is a forward.
Golden opportunity. Again, good position by the man with the whistle. But they really had the opportunity to sneak in on that left-hand side. The long ball here did everything right, but he just offloaded far too early. Should have committed the defender. He knows it too, does Hodgson.
The second half followed a similar pattern to the first, hasn't it? The first 10 minutes, Huddersfield dominant. And then Salford now, 10-15 minutes into the half, start to find a bit of confidence. Littlest kick on the last play showed that they're starting to have a bit of belief. They're going to take on their opponents. Then that play as well, getting to the right end of the field now, and they're lifting.
Yes, they are. That's good defence again.
It's important now that the Reds just keep Huddersfield in their own quarter, but they won't do it with that. That's a good run.
Great run from Steve Snitch. Here goes Ryan Hudson. There's yards to be made there. Back to Snitch again. He turns and goes back, keeps on coming forward, then hand in the face of Brocklehurst.
Just shows you how the game can just change in a blink of the eye. Two quick play the balls by the Giants, got themselves into a great position.
And good driving forward by Keith Mason, whose flailing legs hit Brocklehurst there, and he got a bang in the face. This is Hudson, and Snitch ducks under the challenge from Vian. Finnegan got to him, but he still got the ball away. It was Scandalis on the last tackle, though. Ryan Hudson wants to get on with it for Huddersfield. He finds Brad Drew. Drew with an angled kick. But the fullback Wilshere have positioned himself well, and he begins the counter. John Wilshere, great ball to Hodgson. And Hodgson has got the legs of Drew. Has he? Yes, he has. Hodgson will go over next to the sticks for the Salford City Reds. What a pass from Wilshere. What a magnificent pass. He got the ball to David Hodgson, and the man who joined this club from the Wigan Warriors, David Hodgson, he goes over for only his third try of the campaign on this his 79th consecutive appearance, and he just nudges the Salford City Reds ahead again. Run over half the length of the field to score the try, David Hodgson. And in terms of this season, it could be a priceless 4 points.
Kick back on the inside, plucks it out as Wilshere, but what about the offload? Sheer class. Hodgson had the legs. Drew did well to get anywhere near him. Just couldn't stop him. And the crowd go balmy here, and why not? Because Wilshere's offload is world class, never mind top class. 70 metres. Smile on the face. The Reds are in front.
Well, David Hodgson's try seals Salford's last win at Hull Kingston Rovers on the 22nd of April. We've just seen him score the 94th try of his career. And if John Wilshere can add the extras, there is just a little bit of breathing space. There is indeed. It's 10 points to 6 that the Salford City Reds are ahead. I bet they turned up tonight fearing the worst, but 10-6.
You talk about a good kick and then a good chase. It wasn't from Drew, but they just stopped in Huddersfield. You've got to continue on, and Wilshere took full advantage. The half break, the fend, the offload. Boy, didn't he do well.
And you know how amazing sport is. 2 weeks ago, John Wilshere in the cup game here against Huddersfield scores level after an hour. He tried almost exactly the same thing. It didn't come off. and Huddersfield scored just a few seconds later to go on and win the game. Just amazing, the line between success and failure.
Yes, tell that to Carl Harrison, Phil.
Come on! Come on!
And the amazing thing is, you know, that's the first time Brad Drew has not drilled the ball high into the corner, and he's gone for the chip underneath the sticks, something he hasn't done throughout this game, and they have paid a huge price.
Oh, big collision there with Crabtree and Finnegan. Finnegan plays the ball, and here is Wilshere again, and Wilshere carving them up. Takes the tackle though.
Drew could have been penalised there.
The zone was clattered then after the ball went, but the referee was happy with the challenge. Here comes Thorman, and Robinson, like a little gnat, tried to be swatted away by Thorman.
Nothing in it at all. Berzane got the kick away before the contact at the same time, perhaps. Listen to this crowd over the far side.
Here's Aspinwall for Huddersfield Giants. An hour of the game gone. 20 minutes remaining. 4 points the difference.
You know, Huddersfield's big play this season has been the short kick close to opponent's line, and yet we haven't seen it here today. It's almost as if they're trying to prove to us they can score in a different fashion. You can bet if they get close again, they'll go for that option.
Only Carl Harrison could tell us, of course, but I wonder whether it was his instruction not to try the fancy stuff inside their own half for the first 13, 14 weeks of the season. As I say, he's the only one who can tell us that.
They did try and play rugby. They had a different approach to this season to try and move the ball around. They knew they had to score more points if they wanted to push up in the top six. Unfortunately, it didn't pay off for them.
Here's Wilshere again, and Huddersfield are very, very well aware of the threat that he poses now. It's Hodgson, scorer of that try. Wigan against Hull, Saturday offering for you from the Engage Super League on Sky Sports 3 and available in high definition on HD2. Good contest on the way, Brian, we hope.
Yeah, we're hoping so. You know, we've practiced well all week, but so will Hull. They're really enthused about their win after Leeds last week, so it should be another good tussle.
Indeed so, that's to come. We have 19 minutes or thereabouts, and Robinson with the kick. He's not inside the 40-metre zone this time. Thorman wasn't taking a chance anyway. Robinson leading the charge. And with Bertha 10 brings Thorman very roughly to the ground. Here is Paul Riley.
Was it high? Oh, that certainly was high. Vianney. It's getting excitable out there. And with this guy, Paul Riley, anything can happen.
Oh, he's got them.
Vianney moved off the mark.
He's never square on his
Was
road.
not standing square, went in, over-enthusiastic, then just lost the plot somewhat. And there you see Coley saying, come on, use your brains.
But Phil Clark is right. You know, they're being penalised here for over-enthusiasm, Salford, aren't they?
Yeah, it's just making the job a bit harder for them. I thought Salford had a win coming, Eddie, and I'm not embarrassed to say that I thought they might actually win in France last week. I got that completely wrong. But I've watched them the last few weeks. They haven't been that far off it. I know 66 points to 6 doesn't say that, Steve-O,
it's
but
just
they've had some good indications.
It's a no confidence and poor defence.
I will actually embarrass you here, Philip, and say that you did say after the 66-6 they would win tonight. But we all know what a tipster you can be.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, you know, you can never predict where you're going to get your wins. The Salford fans come and look at the fixture list thinking, when can we pick up the 4 or 6 points we need to survive? You can't tell with this competition.
Long way to go yet, though.
Oh, a long, long way. And Huddersfield are not the team that they are that will wave the white flag easily. Here's Scandalis.
Just a worrying statistic. Huddersfield scored 18 points in the final quarter when they came here 2 weeks ago.
And they absolutely took Bradford to the cleaners last week. Here is Thorman. Good challenge by McGuinness.
I think you see more of Thorman coming into the three-quarter line from full-back position.
Hudson to the substitute. It's Snitch, not the substitute at all. He was the loose forward.
Will Drew bring someone back on the inside yet again?
Here is Drew. They're waiting for the pass, and Drew took them on himself. That's 4 gone. Hudson waits the dummy half. Dabs the ball towards the in-goal area. Salford pick it up. And pick it up cleanly. The ball went backwards, says Ben Thaler.
Oh, danger. Boy, that was a gamble. Hudson's kick, not the best. Not that they mind, because they know they've got Salford in their own quarter.
Well, this is Stuart Littler. And
he's
just on
offloaded.
one knee, offloads to McGuinness, who gets the ball away. And here goes Luke Dawn. Luke Dawn inside to McGuinness. Has McGuinness got the legs? Vian might have, and Gray Vian scores for Salford. Unbelievable! The Salford City Reds score 2 tries in quick succession. They're dancing on the terraces now, and suddenly they will believe that the trapdoor of relegation can be escaped. Gray Vian with the try, relegated with Widnes in 2005, relegated with Castleford last year. He's going for an unwanted hat-trick in 2007, but this try just edges them towards 2 vital points.
Great work from Littler. We thought the Hodgson try was superb with the offload from Wilshere, but Littler gets it through and then offloads. McGuinness takes it on, and you can see that the Huddersfield Giants are out on their feet. Very cool and calm was McGuinness. He could have gone for glory, but he noticed that Vianney was there on his right shoulder, and surely now they must have the feeling that it's a victory that they so desperately needed. That was good team effort. McGuinness, when he made that break, he was herring for the post. He could have just said, I'm going for glory, but he did the right thing and looked for support. Gray Vianney has become the hero of the day so far. Can he make it from 4 to 6?
That's the job for John Wilshere. Left-footed kicker. No, he isn't. He's a right-footed kicker on the right side of the field, and he's missed it. 14-6. Huddersfield have to score twice. But there's the man who scored the try. Well, I tell you what, they have been cheering and supporting the team from the moment they came out to warm up tonight, the Salford faithful. And the banner in front of them really says it all.
They proved the point. A lot of people were pointing the finger that it was Carl Harrison's sole responsibility for their slump. A lot of other people were suggesting that it was the players. And we knew that Salford would make sure they'd do their best. No one likes to be embarrassed. They have played out of their skins tonight.
Here's David Gower again. 10th substitute appearance over the past 10 months. That's all from Gower.
Steve Sims will be sending the message out. Nothing silly. But when you say nothing silly, Phil Clark, the way that Salford have come from deep 5 metres off their own line on 2 occasions and produced 2 sensational tries.
When they look the most dangerous, isn't it? They must have some fast players to score later in the field. He's got another!
He's got another, Luke Robinson!
Don't waste it this time, Eddie.
No, absolutely. Another 40-20 from little Luke Robinson. Oh, he's having the time of his life.
Not only that, he was put under so much pressure, virtually from the same spot.
That's the 3rd we've seen him do here on Sky Sports this year, and on the last 2, they wasted it on the first play. This time they need to take advantage.
Well, he'll be the guy that'll be putting the ball in, and I suspect he might just throw a dummy and go on his own.
Finnegan, they go down the left-hand side. Here is Stuart Littler. The last team to beat the Huddersfield Giants was Salford 7 games ago in the Super League. They're looking here at getting themselves a priceless double against the Giants.
Well, this guy,
good defence though from Huddersfield.
This guy is about to play the ball. He's had an outstanding match as Coley. He's worked hard, and it's obvious that Steve Sims, Coley's been playing most of the time way out on the left-hand side in the centres, but he's going to do his work in midfield from here on in.
This is Luke Dawn. Needed a good tackle to get him down, and it was. They're just 2 metres away from the line. Jordan Turner finds Robinson again. He'll stab the kick in. He's looking for Stuart Littler. And it's a goal line dropout again. Martin Aspinwall was the man to the rescue for Huddersfield.
Well, his kicking game has been not too good of late, but it's been outstanding tonight. That's the way to apply the pressure. Aspinwall did exactly the right thing.
Is this the storyline for a try, Brian? 40-20 repeats that.
Usually it is, and they've managed to keep at the right end of the field, Salford. They'd like to stay here for the next 10 minutes, trust me.
They would. That's Brocklehurst who has it for the Salford City Reds. He plays it, and this is Wilshire, fed by Jordan Turner.
We were calling for someone from the Salford side to stand up perhaps and just take control out there. And I must say that Luke Dawn, Luke Robinson, they've worked hard. I've already mentioned Andy Coley, but this has been a great team effort.
It's Robinson again for Salford. He fires the pass to Dawn. He hands it on quickly to David Gower. And Gower drives Huddersfield back towards their own line once more. There is David Hodgson. Here is Luke Robinson, involved in everything now. And Robinson gives it back to Luke Dawn. And Dawn finds McGuinness. The ball went backwards, and it's play on. It is picked up here by Luke Adamson, and there's the knock-on by Vian.
Just a little one. But at 14-6, just over 10 minutes to go. Not the best pass in the end. McGuinness really couldn't stay it in. It went backwards. Just a little knock-on there by Vianney.
It's really important that Salford don't clock off here. Too many of the players, in my opinion, have walked that scrum. One player's gone down, slightly injured, just wants to get his breath back. They can't clock off here now with 10 minutes to go. That's a heck of a long time. Brocklehurst waiting for treatment.
It mightn't be a bad idea for someone to hit the deck, though, and just recharge the batteries a bit, Phil. Do you think it's a touch of gamesmanship, or is Brocklehurst really hurt?
I can't comment, and I hope he's okay. Seems to be to play on, but I think that's sending out the wrong signals to your teammates. It's sending out the wrong signals to your opponents.
Ball comes out of the scrum, and Foreman has it for Huddersfield.
Well, it's the last throw of the dice, really. John Sharp, as I mentioned earlier, he's got to get the message out of Chris Thorman. Got to have the step. Brad Drew, they've got to start taking them there. The man who's just about to play the ball, Kevin Brown, he's got to take a responsibility now and say, let's twist our arm, let's try something different.
Well, they're not used to this.
Maybe a chip over the top, Eddie.
Huddersfield not used to this because they came here aiming for 8 wins in a row. In Super League, 10th in all competitions. It's not over yet, of course, for them. This is Nero. They're into the last 10 minutes, though, Salford. That's tackle number 4. Huddersfield still inside their own half. Riley will try and get them out of there now, and he does well. Gets them over halfway, only just.
It's on the last. Wilshire's deep. Will they just chip over?
It's Drew. And Drew tries to pump it behind Wilshire, but Wilshire moved across and covered the danger. And he takes the tackle.
Straight down the throat of the fullback, John Wilshire.
Here's Luke Dawn.
It's dig deep and guts time now for the Reds. But as Phil Clark says, they can't just clock off. They've got to keep the momentum going. They can't think of the glory and get all the praise from the crowd. There's still plenty of time. He can soon turn.
Jordan Turner, a dummy half. This is Korkidas. He gets the ball away. Here is Luke Robinson. Robinson still, shows it to McGuinness, gives it to Vian. He flings it in field to Luke Dawn. Now it's with Andy Coley. Andy Coley with one hand, the ball went backwards. Huddersfield will have it back here.
Silly play from Coley. Gave him all the praise a few moments ago, but he was handling the ball with one hand. When you're leading 14-6, you don't need to do that.
And that's the 0 tackle, so there's 6 here to go for Huddersfield. All they had with Andy Raleigh.
All they had to do was use the hard forward, which had done very well so far, then kick it in the corner, get the chase right.
Drew to Nero, good hit by Vian, but off it goes to Drew again. Then on the bounce, untidily, it finds its way to Jackson. Jackson will go through the middle. That's only the second tackle gone. They are 25 metres away from the Salford line. Here is Brad Drew. He gives it to Chris Thorman. Thorman gets the pass away to Nero. Nero finds Riley, and Riley gets in the corner. Referee has not given it yet.
Just wants to see whether the foot hit the white was, but I think he gets it in. That's excellent stuff. That is superb stuff. Does the left arm hit the flag? No. It does afterwards, but that is TRY time.
Paul Riley with the try, we think. The video referee is Richard Silverwood tonight, and Richard Silverwood agrees. So Paul Riley comes up with the try. He hasn't scored in the last 4, but that try, important as it is for the game tonight, is his 50th for the Huddersfield Giants. Paul Riley's try, it's not over.
Stupid play by Andy Coley. Allowed Huddersfield to get the possession. Great work. Lovely offload. Squeezes in at the corner. When they should have been applying the pressure, the Reds have suffered the consequences. Went for the intercept. It's never going to be on. Can he turn it into 6?
Yes, he can. Chris Thorman with the conversion off the touchline. It staggered its way over the top of the crossbar. 14-12. Well, time for strong hearts and time for big lungs. Brian.
Well, Huddersfield believe they can win this. All Salford have to do is muscle up, not get silly, not jump out the line to try and stop a play, stick with their structures, stick with their belief that they've been taught all this season. They defended really well. They're just going to restrict Huddersfield and be patient themselves. 3 sets each, roughly, with 6 minutes to go.
Indeed so, and Hodgson with a deep kick-off, needless to say. Hodgson was underneath it. And here come the Giants late. There are now 6 minutes remaining exactly, and 14-12, Salford City Reds lead. It can be a cruel game this at times. It will be cruel on Salford if they lose this.
It'll be cruel on the second row, Andy Coley as well, who's had a fine match. But he just had a bit of a brainstorm there, trying to carry the ball with one arm, and then it's up at it.
There's bags of movement for Huddersfield. Kevin Brando is stopped.
They're on the roll. They're struggling at Salford in defence. Some are moving up, some are hanging back. They put the cue in the Rackerfield.
This is Jackson. Tackled by McGuinness. That's the last one. They've restricted them to the 40-metre line. The kick from Drew will have to be good, and is not. It's straight to Luke Dawn. Well, if they keep them on their feet, they can push them back towards their own line. And Griffin was sitting all over the top of Luke Dawn.
This is the big job here now, getting out of the 20-metre zone. They haven't in those 2 plays. This is when you need to be brave. When you talk about tough players, you're never going to get it.
Referee shouted hell twice. The Huddersfield players couldn't hear it, and Robbie Paul dumped the Salford player to the deck.
Well, to be fair to the official, Ben Thaler, he was screaming at the players.
Simon Finnegan's done well then for his team, hasn't he? I'm not so sure that it was much of a push from Robbie Paul, but Simon Finnegan went down like a sack of spuds.
Doesn't matter if someone's stalled held and you push him in. Doesn't matter about the strength. They've done it. They've got it. And there's still plenty of time. They can't just shut up shop, Salford.
They can't. 4 minutes and a quarter to go. Andy Coley. Well, I bet he'll hang on to it this time.
Come on! Hold this line. Come on,
Bethlehem waits the dummy half. Here is Luke Robinson. Finnegan will drive it to halfway and straight up the middle, halted by Griffin and Jackson. Bethlehem again. Strong run from Gower. They've not seen too much of him since he arrived, Gower. As I say, this is only his 10th substitute appearance in 10 months. Here is Korkidas, that's the last. Now the kick here from Salford has to be good. Luke Robinson drills the ball out. That's just what the doctor ordered, and Huddersfield will dash to the scrum and form it.
Good thinking. He's had a fine game as Robinson. He's had his critics this season.
Well, he's a young man, and he's been trying, I think, to do just about everything. He's been trying to defend, to attack, to kick, to score tries, do the lot. And he's only 22 years of age himself. But he's a little general.
He has been tonight, that's for sure. And if ever a guy really wanted to be on the winning side, it's him, but
it's not over. Not over yet, and Aspinwall gets it away to Drew. That's great work from Finnegan. Here is Crabtree, and Salford muscling up to try and keep them back there. Look at the clock, 3 minutes remaining, only 2 points in it though. A try would win it for Huddersfield, you feel. They know that. Great run again. Ooh, there was nearly a lift. There was very nearly a lift.
They can't afford to give away a penalty. They've got him all. That's good work. Under pressure, Drew's away.
And he gets the ball to Robbie Paul, and Robbie Paul fires it wide to Kevin Brown, and Kevin Brown gives it back to Robbie Paul, who applies the brakes. Here they come. He's lost the ball. Robbie Paul has lost it.
It was knocked out, and it went backwards. And amazingly, Cramp has just appeared.
What about Andy Coley's effort there to catch Robbie Paul?
Well, he made up for the slack carry earlier on.
Robbie Paul realises that perhaps was the opportunity. But Andy Coley, as Eddie has said, has made up for that silly offload that allowed the Giants to get back into the game by the try from Riley. And this will be up the jumper time, or it should be.
Well, Huddersfield will get another go at them. 2 minutes remaining. Here's Finnegan.
He's worked hard. The loose forward Finnegan. Not much about him, but puts his weight around.
Coley again for Salford. Drives the ball forward. That's the last tackle. Robinson is here, and Robinson stabs the ball behind Drew, he hoped, but Drew plucks it out of the air, and Brad Drew begins the counter. Now look at the clock, a minute and a half. This is their probably last chance, Huddersfield, to rescue this unbeaten record. Nero.
I'm surprised, you know, that Luke Robinson went for the infield kick. Only a few moments ago we saw him dink it right over the whitewash to make sure they put the scrum down.
That's Griffin. He will play the ball to Hudson. Here they come again, Huddersfield with Raleigh, and he's drilled to the ground. That's 4 tackles gone. Still not over halfway, Huddersfield. They can strike from deep. Here comes Chris Nero. Good tackle low down by Robinson again.
Chip over, they've got to do something different.
Snitch gets the ball away and straight to Finnegan, and that could be the ball game to the Salford City Reds.
I think they realise it too. Finnegan has been all over the park tonight.
Here is Coley, nothing silly now, surely. John Sharp can see his unbeaten run evaporating. Steve Sims can see 2 valuable points at the bottom of the table, and so can they. Berthazen waits, half a minute to go. It is now with Stuart Littler. Littler takes the tackle.
One more drive.
Nervous times on those terraces.
One more drive, and then let Luke Robinson put it well. Bounce first, not on the full. It's got to go over the line. You've got to get it into touch.
Robinson under pressure. Robinson still. He humps the ball downfield. It goes over the head of Thorman. It will
That'll
go
do
dead.
it.
And Salford have won against all the odds. Carl Harrison sacked this week. John Sharp's unbeaten record goes west in Salford. And the Salford City Reds get 2 points. 2 absolutely priceless points at the bottom of that Engage Super League table. What an effort from them. They led at half-time. The last time they won at Hulkingston Rovers in April, they led at half-time. And James Lowes goes round each and every one of the players, the assistant coach, who worked with Carl Harrison, and he gave them the last words as they left the dressing room tonight. And Salford, in a week that has been full of heartbreak and agony for this club, they have come up with a win that will give them great confidence for the dozen games that remain. They win 14 points to 12.